Good morning, everyone. We'll continue with our CAT 2008 paper analysis. So, before we begin our analysis, I'll just quickly go through the history of CAT papers and why do we need to do them. Yeah. So, CAT papers officially released by the IIMs themselves are available from the year 2003 to 2008 and from 2007 to 2019. In 2009, the CAT became online, and not just that, there were a lot of slots. So there was not a one clear paper, right? So even right now, when the IIMs are releasing papers, you have at least two slot papers. But in 2009, the first year it was online, there were 40 slots. So a lot of questions from 2009 to 2016 and from 2002 to backwards are questions based on memory. So, test takers have come out and they've remembered questions, and those questions have gone into CAT papers. So, some of the questions that we have done from 2009 and 10, they have all been CAT questions from memory, right? So, why do we need to do them, guys? First of all, we are really sticking to a very similar format in CAT with respect to the sections. So your maths syllabus has not changed. The kind of questions that you see in maths has not changed. And a similar thing holds true for DILR also. Verbal, there has been a big change. There used to be a time when there would be 50 questions in just VA and 50 questions in RC and CAT. But that has now come down to 34 questions totally, out of which you just have reading comprehension, jumble paragraphs, and para summaries. So verbal has changed quite a lot. So we are going to stick to questions that are relevant for our current CAT preparation. We are not going to do questions involving grammar or questions involving, which is the right word sort of a thing here, usage related questions, right? So we are doing CAT papers, guys, because actually the CAT papers gives us the syllabus, right? If nobody saw the CAT paper in 2006, for example, they wouldn't know that in 2007 you'll again have fact, inference, judgment, right? And there have been sets in DI also that have been repeated, like football, scoring sets, etc. So there has been a repetition of exact questions. Some years there has been similar questions coming up. So that's the reason why we need to do the math and the DILR. And verbal, of course, we need to do, guys, because we need to understand their reasoning. If you have something like a paragraph summary, why is the particular summary right? So when the IIMs come out with their answers and their questions, we can understand their reasoning better. So that's why we do CAT questions, right? So a quick introduction about myself. Hi, I'm Munira Lokhandwala. And I am Calcutta alumna, a serial 100 percentiler in CAT and a 99 percentiler in GMAT. I also have a CAT verbal book published by Wiley and available on Amazon. You can find me on Unacademy YouTube live channels. You can also find me on the app. So please, Play Store Jack, you can search for the app and then install it. And within that, go for the plus CAT courses, right? And get subscription. So as I said earlier also, we have just started a wonderful free test series for everyone. It's really a good idea to go and take it. You will get a national level rank, national level percentile, and a good quality set of questions to practice from, right? So go ahead and subscribe. Which package to go for, we can discuss towards the end of the session. You can use my code Munira10 to get a 10% discount, right? So as usual, we'll start off with the puzzle I gave you all last time. You have a number being called decreasing if, as you go from left to right, the digits are decreasing, right? So they are not equal also, guys, they have to decrease. It's very clearly given that the number is less. It is not less than equal to, it is just less. So which is the smallest number that you can, 4-digit number that is decreasing? Let's start off with that. So small करने के लिए we'll put the smallest possible digit in the units place, because units place में सबसे छोटा number आएगा, right? The smallest number comes here in the units place. तो वहाँ हमने 0 डाल दिया. Then second को भी हम छोटा ही रखेंगे तो 1. Then the hundreds will be 2 and the thousands will be 3. So the smallest 4-digit decreasing number is 3210, and hence how many decreasing numbers are there between 1000 and 3000, guys? 0. There's not a single number because the smallest number itself comes after 3000, right? Great. Let's do the DI set from CAT 2008. So there were 12, there were 25 questions in the set, out of which we are doing 12 today in the afternoon, and then we are doing the remaining 13 in the evening. They are very good data sets. The first one, as you will see, is relatively easier, but as you go further, they are not very difficult, but they are thought-provoking questions, all of them. And in that sense, right, they're very similar to the kind of data sets that you see even now. Even now, the focus is not too much on calculations. The focus is on provoking thought, right? So great. Let's start off with this set. As usual, guys, मैंने बहुत दफा कहा है आपको, please pause, solve, and then look at the solutions. Don't jump into the solution straight away. Okay. So there are 6 houses and there are 6 colors, and the houses are of different heights. T, the tallest house, is exactly opposite to the red colored house, but T and red color could be anywhere, right? In the middle, and so this is not something that we can start with. Shortest house is exactly opposite, so they same have the similar problem dono ke saath hai कि we can't know where to put them. Our primary, see, as usual I say, right, there is a natural order in the placing of the houses. So the primary order is the house placing. Okay. Okay. So the first big clue comes from you. The orange colored house is located between P and S. Where is, okay, yeah, this is the first big clue. So PUS are in some order. It could be PUS, it could be SUP, but let's start off with this. And U is orange. Okay. R, the yellow colored house. So ठीक है, R is opposite. Correct? Yeah, R is yellow. Now the thing is, even if P was here, then R would be here. So always just keep this in mind that there are two possibilities, and this is just the mirror image of the other one. As of right now, we have not really, ऐसा नहीं बोला गया है कि R is to the leftmost or P is to the rightmost or anything like that. So we can just continue working with this. Q is exactly opposite to U. So anyway, first, before we even go to Q, T is the tallest house and T is opposite red. तो यहाँ पे T हो नहीं सकता because यहाँ पे तो सामने orange है. T has to be here, and this is, sorry, S is red. Correct? तो PUS हो गया, RT हो गया, so Q has to be here, which is what this clue is also telling us, that Q is exactly opposite to U, and this is green in color. Okay. P, the white colored house. So P is white in color. अब 5 colors हो गए हैं. We can find the color for T. The only color left, guys, is blue. So T will be blue. So already we have given houses, their locations, right, and their colors. Now we have to look at the heights. So T is the tallest house. Let T be number 1 in terms of height, right? The shortest house is opposite green. So U is the shortest house. So U is 6. Okay, 1 is the tallest, shortest is 6. And we know that P, the white colored house, is taller than R, but shorter than S and Q. So T है यहाँ पे, correct? यहाँ पे U है. बीच में somewhere P is taller than R, तो S और Q यहाँ पे है in some order, correct? Here you have P, because P is shorter than S and Q. P is of course shorter than T, but P is taller than R. So R का number has to be 5, P has to be 4, and between S and Q we don't know. It can be 2 or 3, right? Or similarly 3 or 2. So what is the color of the house diagonally opposite to the yellow colored house? So first of all, guys, आप ये उतार लीजिए अपने books पे, right? So then there's less back and forth. So what is the color of the house diagonally opposite? So ये yellow है. Diagonally opposite means you're looking at something like this. So that is red color. Fourth option. Which is the second tallest house? So the tallest house is 1. The second tallest house cannot be determined, guys. It could be S or Q. So it's a cannot be determined. Fifth option. What is the color of the tallest house? We know tallest house is T. Uska color is blue. So that takes care of this answer also. Here the answer is second option. Right? Great. Let's look at the next set. So let's look at the second set. The second set looks a little confusing in the beginning, but if you see, guys, there's not a lot of confusion here. It's mostly a simple set. You make revenue from data and voice. Okay, revenue received from data as a percentage is given, right? And the average per unit you make from US dollars is given. Okay, so the first thing is that your total revenue is data plus voice. Revenue that you make from data, right, is given as a percentage, and then how much you're making per unit of the data that you transfer, that is also given in terms of USD. So before we start solving, no, let's just look at an example. Okay, how do you make sense of this? Let's pick up South Korea. So let's say South Korea data 5 यूनिट डेटा ट्रांसफर कर रही है. ओके, तो हर एक यूनिट का साउथ अफ्रीका इज मेकिंग $10. सो साउथ कोरिया, नॉट अफ्रीका, is making $10. So South Korea total is making $50 from data transfer alone. That is the data transfer, total data revenue, right, of South Korea is 50. Now this revenue is around let's say 25, right? 20 or 30 के बीच है, so let's say 25. So this is 25% of total revenue, 1/4. So total revenue must be $200. That's it. That's what it means. Okay. If I know the number of units that data of any country that is transferred, so I can multiply it with the average to find out how much money they're making from data transfer. I know data transfer as a percentage of total, so I can find the total revenue also. ये समझना जरूरी है, वरना questions नहीं होगा. And you should understand this before you solve questions. Don't rush into questions. Understand what the data is. Then only you will choose कि मुझे सेट करना है कि नहीं करना है. अगर आप समझ रहे हो तो आप सेट करोगे, अगर नहीं समझ रहे हो तो अगला सेट समझने की कोशिश करो, right? Don't rush into solving questions without understanding the set. So let's now look at the first question. It was found that the volume of data transfer, okay, that's already on pen, in India is the same as that of Singapore. तो इंडिया में जितना डेटा ट्रांसफर हो रहा है उतना ही सिंगापुर में हो रहा है, राइट? तो कितना डेटा ट्रांसफर करेंगे हम, अपने ऊपर है ना, सेम है. 1 यूनिट इन इंडिया, छोटे से छोटा नंबर 1 यूनिट इन सिंगापुर. अब इंडिया के एक यूनिट पे हाउ मच मनी गाइस आर वी मेकिंग? $1, let's say, and 9% revenue from data. तो $1 है per unit. Okay, this is per unit. Number of units भी 1 है, तो total data revenue guys for India is $1. And this is 9% of total revenue. So अपना total revenue will be 100 by 9, which is 11.11. See that guys, that's why we did concepts and percentages. ये सब अपने बाएं हाथ का खेल होना चाहिए. We shouldn't be lost here, right? Percentages and ratios, I've told y'all, it is the foundation for DI. Okay, तो ये हो गया. अब सिंगापुर में क्या चल रहा है? सिंगापुर में भी एक यूनिट है क्योंकि वॉल्यूम सेम है दोनों का. सिंगापुर एक यूनिट के लिए हाउ मच आर यू पेइंग? यू आर पेइंग क्लोज टू $9. करेक्ट? तो आपका रेवेन्यू फ्रॉम डेटा TDR सिंगापुर से $9 है. सिंगापुर का यहाँ अच्छा नंबर है 20%. So 20% you're making from data, and that is $9. So totally आप 45 बना रहे होंगे. So if you compare these two numbers, Singapore is 4 times. It's not percentage, sorry, dollars. Singapore is 4 times India, right? So total revenue in Singapore is about 4 times that of India. Great. Next question. It is expected by 2010 that revenue from data transfer as a percentage, right? India will triple. So अभी कितना है इंडिया का percentage? We have found that इंडिया का percentage है 9%, right? Comes from ये, already we have found this out. 9% comes from data. So 9 becomes 27. अब 9% comes from data. For Sweden, what is that percentage? Sweden right now is here. So it is 18%. Right? This is how you look at Sweden. Oops. Yeah. So it is 18%. Sweden doubles and Sweden becomes 36%. Okay. 2010 total revenue in India is twice that of Sweden. Okay. टोटल रेवेन्यू इन इंडिया इज ट्वाइस, तो इंडिया में कितना रेवेन्यू होगा, स्वीडन में कितना होगा, 100। अच्छा नंबर, हम नंबर लेंगे हमेशा, राइट। स्वीडन में 100, तो इंडिया में इट विल बी 200। ओके, नाउ इंडिया में डेटा रेवेन्यू इज 20%, सो इंडिया का रेवेन्यू फ्रॉम डेटा, टोटल डेटा रेवेन्यू इज गोइंग टू बी 54, 27%, जो हमने पहले यहाँ ट्रिपल करके निकाला है, करेक्ट। स्वीडन का यही नंबर होगा 36, बिकॉज इट्स 36% ऑफ 100। अब दे हैव द सेम वॉल्यूम ऑफ डेटा ट्रांसफर, वॉल्यूम सेम है, तो ये रेवेन्यू क्यों अलग है? रेवेन्यू अलग है क्योंकि their ARDT, the average price that they are paying, right, for a unit must be different. So if the revenue is in the ratio 3:2, this must also be in the ratio 3:2, करेक्ट ना, क्योंकि वॉल्यूम तो सेम है, अगर इसका रेवेन्यू ज्यादा है मतलब इसका प्राइस ज्यादा है, करेक्ट, बिकॉज दिस रेवेन्यू इज बेसिकली वॉल्यूम इनटू प्राइस, तो 3:2 है। अब बीनो की स्वीडन में कोई चेंज नहीं है, स्वीडन इज एट 6, सो इंडिया मस्ट बी एट 9 ना, तो ही 3:2 होगा। पर इंडिया शुरू हुआ 1 से, $1 इन 2009, तो परसेंटेज इंक्रीजेस 8/1, विच इज 800%, राइट। Great, let's look at the next question. Oops. If the total revenue is same, choose the pair that has approximately the same volume of data transfer. अब revenue same है दोनों भी, I mean before we get into this, right, specifics, if the revenue is same, volume is same, okay, अगर वॉल्यूम सेम है तो जो भी उसका प्राइस है ARDT, ये जितना भी बड़ा रहेगा उतना ही उसका परसेंटेज भी बड़ा होना चाहिए, करेक्ट। सो इफ ARDT, I'm just saying कि if I'm comparing country A with country B, if country A का ARDT is 10 and country B का ARDT is 5, इसका percentage should be 10 and इसका percentage should be 5, तो ही ये 5% ऑफ 5 100 हो जाएगा और 10% ऑफ 10 100, तो ही रेवेन्यू दोनों का सेम होगा, करेक्ट। सो जितना वो ARDT बढ़ता है उतना ही परसेंटेज बढ़ना चाहिए, या जितना घटता है उतना ही घटना चाहिए। सो द पॉइंट इज दैट दीज टू थिंग्स आर इन डायरेक्ट प्रोपोर्शन। यू आर लुकिंग एट अ लाइन ऑफ दिस टाइप between the two countries. See, instead of comparing all of these, yeah, you want a straight line between the two countries. Means what? कि अगर किसी का ARDT ज्यादा है तो उसका परसेंटेज भी ज्यादा है। See, आप यहाँ पे थोड़ा just spend some time thinking about what I said. It will really decrease the time it will take you to answer this question. कि जितना रेवेन्यू फ्रॉम रेवेन्यू परसेंटेज बढ़ा है उतना ही उसका प्राइस बढ़ेगा, तो ही रेवेन्यू सेम होगा, बिकॉज वॉल्यूम इज द सेम, करेक्ट। तो अगर ARDT जो प्राइस है अगर 10 है और यहाँ 5 है, right, so the price is double, that means the percentage should also be double, then only the revenue will be the same. That's the point. So now let's draw lines. Philippines and Austria, Philippines and Austria, where in God's world, yeah, Philippines is here and Austria is here. So this is a downward line. This is not your answer. Think about it, no guys. इसका परसेंटेज ज्यादा है, प्राइस कम है, करेक्ट, तो इसका रेवेन्यू, फिलीपींस का रेवेन्यू ऑस्ट्रिया से पक्का छोटा होगा। ऑस्ट्रिया इज मेकिंग मोर मनी एंड दैट मोर मनी इज अ लेसर परसेंटेज, सो द टोटल रेवेन्यू विल बी फार हायर, राइट। आई होप इट्स मेकिंग सेंस। तो फिलीपींस एंड ऑस्ट्रिया गॉन। कनाडा एंड पोलैंड, उसका लाइन बनाते हैं, यहाँ पे है पोलैंड and where is Canada? It should blink, no? Oh, there's Canada, China, Hong Kong, Denmark here. So ये भी देखो नीचे उतरती हुई लाइन। Say bye bye to this option. Germany and USA. So USA and Germany. Great, I found these two very quickly. Downward line, out. UK and Spain. UK is here. Oh, very nice. I found these two also quickly. Upward line looks very good. If I have two upward lines, then I will see which of them gives me the exact ratio. Otherwise, I'm not even going to see that. Denmark and Mexico. Where is this is Denmark and oh wow, ये देखो, four lines that are going down, only one line that's going up. Mark that line, right? Your answer is UK and Spain. So this understanding, because we have understood the data, right, clearly makes this a 30-40 second problem. Otherwise, if you sit and check for each options, guys, बाल झड़ जाएंगे सबके, right? Let's look at set 3. For admission to various affiliated colleges, a university conducts a written exam with 4 different sections, each with a maximum of 50 marks. The following table gives the aggregate as well as the sectional cutoffs. A student will get admission क्योंकि वो सब कट ऑफ क्लियर किया है. अगर सेक्शन डी का कट ऑफ नहीं है तो उसको सेक्शन डी में 0 भी आ सकता है. ऑफ कोर्स आएगा नहीं क्योंकि उसको एग्रीगेट लाना है. तो 42, 42, 42 अगर यहाँ पे the student gets 126, तो the student needs at least 50 in section D to get a 176, right? तो ऐसा नहीं कि सिर्फ तीनों 42, 42 से student will pass, but ये 42 तीनों में चाहिए, overall 176 चाहिए to pass. That's what it means. Okay. Bhama got calls from all colleges. What could be the minimum? So I have to minimize. तो यहाँ पे मुझे सब कॉलेज से कॉल चाहिए तो मुझे 45 तो लाना ही है, वरना if I don't get 45, I'll not get college from I would not get a call from college 5. यहाँ पे भी मुझे 45 लाना है मैक्सिमम नंबर. यहाँ पे मुझे 46 लाना है because I need a call from college C. I need a call from all of the colleges, so I have to pick the maximum number. If I pick some other number, I'll miss out on a call. यहाँ पे भी 45. So if I add these 4 numbers, it's 45 into 4, 180 plus 1. यहाँ 46 एक extra है ना. So the answer is 181. भामा को कम से कम 181 marks चाहिए because हर एक section में this is the minimum that she should get, right? Next question. Charlie got calls from 2 colleges. What could be the minimum marks obtained by him in a section? तो उसको 2 कॉलेज में कॉल आया है और मुझे मार्क्स मिनिमाइज करने हैं. So I want to pick up first of all the smallest aggregate marks. Smallest aggregate marks होंगे, then only I'll get minimum in a section. तो यही है देखो सबसे छोटे. And luckily ये दोनों में सेक्शन डी का कोई कट ऑफ नहीं है, तो सेक्शन डी में उसको सबसे कम मिल सकता है. करेक्ट. अगर ऐसा होता कि एक में सेक्शन डी होता, एक में सेक्शन बी होता, then I would have to pick up some other college, but that's not happening. Thankfully section D is the one that's blank in both, so I will minimize section D. I'll maximize everybody else, every other section. So Charlie gets 50, 50, 50 in the 3 sections, right? 50 plus 50 plus 50, तो उसको 150 आ गया. Then he needs and तो 150 में उसको यहाँ से कॉल, तीनों सेक्शन का कट ऑफ क्लियर हो रहा है. यहाँ पे कोई कट ऑफ ही नहीं है, पर उसको एग्रीगेट कम से कम 175 चाहिए to get calls from both the colleges. So the minimum that this person needs to get is 25, right? So D में अगर 25 भी आ जाता है तो the person gets calls from all from college 2 and college 3, right? 50, 50, 50 and 25 will ensure that. So third option. Aditya did not get a call from even a single college. What could be the maximum aggregate marks obtained by him? तो उसको कोई भी कॉलेज से कॉल नहीं आया पर उसके मार्क्स मैक्सिमाइज करने हैं. ठीक है. ओके, सो लेट्स से इफ so what we'll do, guys, we'll ensure that one section at least, right, is missing out per college. So to maximize, we'll try and give 50 at least to some section or the other. That's what we'll do. Okay. So now if you see the way it's given, section C and section D together takes care of all 6 colleges. यहाँ पे section C का कट ऑफ है, C का है, C का है, C का है और ये D का है, D का है. तो अगर मैं यहाँ दोनों पे 50 देती हूँ ना, and I ensure that these 2 cutoffs are not met, right? Then I'm ensuring that they are not getting calls from any of the college, Aditya. Okay? So see, if he gets 42 in section C, तो यहाँ से उसको call मिल सकता है ना. तो in section C, the person will get 41 to ensure कि कोई भी ये 4 college उसके गए. सी 50-50 से उसको ए और बी तो मिल जाएगा, पर विद अ 41, राइट, ही इज लूजिंग आउट ऑन 1, 2, 3 एंड 4. Now I need to ensure कि ये बचे हुए दो कॉलेजेस. That's why guys you see that intersection is important. कि 4 कॉलेजेस सी ने हैंडल किया, अभी 2 कॉलेजेस डी हैंडल करेगा. In D he needs to get 43. He just misses both the colleges, right? तो अभी उसको कोई कॉलेज में एडमिशन नहीं मिलेगा even with a score of 184. 50 plus 50 plus 41 plus 43. Okay, so guys I hope you have understood the modus operandi. यहाँ 6 है, यहाँ 2 है, and they are taking care of all 6 colleges. तो हम ये दो sections के साथ काम करेंगे, right? यहाँ पे we will ensure that 50-50 आ जाता है. It doesn't matter even if these two sections are clear. One of the other sections will not be clear, right? Next set. Okay, so you have 100 employees in an organization across 5 departments. Following table gives a department-wise distribution of age, basic pay and allowance. तो टेबल पे क्या है कि HR में 5 एम्प्लॉइज है, उनका एवरेज एज 45 है, उनका एवरेज बेसिक पे 5,000 है, उनका एवरेज अलाउंस 70% है. तो उनकी एवरेज सैलरी यहाँ से वी कैन फाइंड आउट, करेक्ट, इज 1.7, 1 बेसिक प्लस अलाउंस, राइट, 1.7 ऑफ 5,000, 8,500. So this is just for our understanding कि हाँ हम समझ गए डेटा क्या है. Whenever a person is transferred from a department of lower age to higher age, you will get a 10% allowance of basic pay over and above. उसका 10% allowance बढ़ता है over and above his or her current allowance. But higher to lower में there is no change. I don't know the logic behind it. Maybe they are saying कि तुम higher पे जाओगे तो तुम्हारा promotion कब होगा? I don't know, right? So whatever, we shouldn't question the logic. So let's. But you know the thing is that if I understand the logic, I can internalize the formula. That's why I try and see कि you know what is the logic, because then I don't need to, you know, you'll forget कि higher to lower बढ़ता है कि lower to higher. So if you say कि हाँ lower to higher में उसके promotion के chances कम हो जाते हैं इसलिए बढ़ता है, then you don't have to go back and check. Okay, great. So what is the approximate percentage change? Average gross. Gross means basic plus allowance. 40-year-old person with basic pay of 8,000. तो 40 years का इतना इम्पोर्टेंस नहीं है, पर मार्केटिंग से HR कोई जा रहा है तो लोअर टू हायर है तो उसका सैलरी बढ़ेगा. ओके, तो मार्केटिंग में उसका सैलरी है 8,000, बेसिक है. अभी दैट पर्सन हैज टू गेट 80 एंड एन एक्स्ट्रा 10% ओवर एंड अबव करंट अलाउंस उसका 80 है, उस पे उसको 10% एक्स्ट्रा मिलेगा. सो ही इज गोइंग टू गेट 90%, राइट, ही और शी, एंड हेंस द सैलरी इज गोइंग टू बी 8,000 into 1.9 which is 15,200. तो जो बंदा जा रहा है HR में, राइट, that lady will have a salary of 15,200. The current average salary is 8,500. So it's an extra of 6,500 that now you have to spread, right, across 6 employees. So हर employee का कुछ इतना बढ़ता है, right, in fact close to 1120 over the basic of 8,500. So as a percentage, guys, right, 1,000 will come to around 12%. So this works out to around 13%. You can use the calculator here. Correct? So let's just find out what is 12% of 85. That is nothing but 6%. Correct? So 102 is what you will get. So this is more than 12. So answer is third option, 13%. Okay. Next question. There was a mutual transfer of an employee between marketing and finance, and the transfer of one employee from marketing to HR. As a result, average age of finance department increased by 1 year and that of marketing department remained the same. What is the new average age? तो अभी यहाँ पे पे वे का कुछ नहीं है, सब एज का हंगामा है, सब इधर हो रहा है. ओके, अच्छा, सो फाइनेंस के साथ कम चीजें हो रही है. लेट्स फर्स्ट वर्क विथ फाइनेंस. फाइनेंस में one person moves here and everyone's age, and not just one, there's an interchange. तो 20 का 20 ही रहता है. Number of employees remain 20 because there's an interchange, right? There's a mutual transfer. पर सबकी एज 1 से बढ़ जाती है. So whoever came in compared to whoever left. See, if दोनों के एज सेम होते गाइस तो फाइनेंस का एज चेंज ही नहीं होता, पर फाइनेंस का एज बढ़ा है क्योंकि समवन विथ लेस एज हैज बीन रिप्लेस्ड बाय समवन विथ मोर एज. हाउ मच लेस, हाउ मच मोर, तो यू से कि फाइनेंस का बढ़ा कितना है, फाइनेंस का 20 से बढ़ा है ओवरऑल. सबके लिए एक रुपया एक्स्ट्रा आ गया, राइट, सबके लिए एक साल एक्स्ट्रा आ गया, तो ओवरऑल 20 का डिफरेंस हुआ है फाइनेंस में, which means that the difference between the two guys was 20 years. The guys who came in, the guys who went and the guy who came in. The guy who came in is 20 years more than the guy who left finance, which means कि marketing में 20 का gap है. पर marketing तो remain the same. Why? Because somebody from HR came in. तो जो भी HR से आया है उसने 20 कम किया है यहाँ से, करेक्ट. और वो 20 अगर आप if you reduce it from, so one person has reduced, right, 5 has become 4, so वो 20 अगर आप 4 लोगों में से कम करते हो तो सबका 5 years कम हुआ है. So the answer is option 3, 40. Everyone has reduced 5 years, right, because the 20 divided by 4. Great. Okay, next question, last question guys. If 2 employees each with a basic pay of 6,000 are transferred from maintenance to HR and 1 person, what will be the percentage change in average basic? तो अभी हमें allowance के साथ कुछ नहीं करना है. एक क्वेश्चन टोटल था, एक क्वेश्चन अभी एज पे था, अभी एक क्वेश्चन सिर्फ पे पे है. ओके, सो 3 employees are now a part of HR. 3 new employees, जो आपके 5 थे अब बन गए हैं 8, right? And what has happened is that 5,000 जो आपका बेसिक था, 2 employees have come with 6,000 each. So दोनों ने 1,000 एक्स्ट्रा लाए और तीसरे ने जो 8,000 वाला है, वाली है, whatever, that person has got 3,000 extra. So you have got 5,000 extra, which will be distributed over 8 people now. It will be distributed across everyone. So everyone gets 625 extra, and 625 as a percentage of 5,000 guys is 12.5%. So that is the increase in the average basic pay. You have to compare it with the basic pay as a denominator. So you found out कि total increase कितना होता है 5,000 का, पर ये 8 लोगों के लिए increase होता है. Per person increase is 625 over the basic pay of 5,000. So that's a change of 12.5%. Guys, I hope you liked this session. This was a very, very concept oriented session. The data sets are very similar to the kind of sets you get in the CAT. So it should be a good learning experience for you all. I'm also sharing the PDF so that you can take the questions before you come and watch the video solutions. So आप ऐसा भी कर सकते हो अभी, because अभी PDFs भी available है. PDF is there in the description box, right? So take the entire thing properly and then come for the solutions. I hope you enjoy the whole thing. Before leaving, here is your bonus puzzle. In each row of a 3x3 table, the sum of the first 2 numbers equals the third, and even in the column. So to find the sum of all the 9 numbers, given only one number. Your reading assignment is catastrophes and calms. Again, this is a very contemporary current passage related to our pandemic also. So please read it. You'll see me again in the evening when I'll finish up the DI-LR section with the remaining 13 questions. And you can find me also on Unacademy app. Please guys, take the test, explore the various educators we have. There are a lot of different people from different regions, different styles of teaching. You will definitely have a match for what you're looking for, right? You have a lot of live lectures, live doubt solving sessions. So please subscribe. If you're focused on CAT 20, go for the 12-month subscription because आपको XAT, CAT किसी के लिए ये काम आएगा. And if you're confused between 20 or 21, then go for the 2-year subscription, right? You can use the code Munira10 to get 10% discount. I hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.